Welcome back to Design Bundle's YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Crystal. Today we are going to make a really big sign using our Cricut machine. Now I've already pre-cut everything out, so I'm actually going to be making a great big sign for my bathroom. So I found a super adorable design that we have, and there's actually a few different styles. I'm actually going to link two of them down below that are my favorites, this one and another one that I almost did. But this is the design here. You're not going to be able to read it all here, but it says no selfies in the bathroom. I think it's going to be super cute. Now what I did was I let this, instead of welding it or attaching it all together, I let it just cut out by working its way together on the material, like basically sizing itself down to fit however it could on the mat, so I could cut this with my 12 by 24 mat. Or if you were using Cricut Smart material, you could definitely cut it out with that as well. This is going to allow you to do bigger signs like this. So let's go ahead and drop the camera so we can make it. All right, so what we're going to do is I actually need to start off by cutting this down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. I've got a pair of scissors. I've got my material. This is, I highly recommend if you're making signs to use matte. Use the matte adhesive vinyl because it's going to look like you painted it. So if you use glossy, it's going to have a reflection to it, and you're going to be able to tell that it's vinyl. But if you use the matte colors or the matte material, it's going to look like you painted it. So it's going to be super cool. So definitely use the matte. This is Starcraft Permanent in black. I buy it by the big rolls because it's a color that I obviously use more than others. So I am going to, I believe it is no and then in. Okay, so let's try to make sure here. So we got two different letters here. So now what I have to do is I have to put this guy back together, trying to make sure I'm keeping everything nice and straight. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some parchment paper for that. I do highly recommend that if you have it in white. I didn't have it available with me today, so I couldn't use it, but if you have it in the white, it's better because you're going to be able to see it better. So we're actually going to place this on our canvas over here. So on our signs, I'm going to set these out of our way really quick. Get this out of our way. I've got transfer tape. I'm going to attempt to use some Caesar. If it's not enough, I've got another one I'm going to use. So I'm going to bring our sign in here, just like so. And then I'm going to start to line these up. So I've got my parchment down here. I'm going to use it here in a minute, not necessarily right now. I'm just trying to figure out my placement. So I'm going to, we're going to have no, and I do believe it's like selfies like this. It's so, so cute. I'll cut that down here in just a second in the bathroom. So it's something about like this. Now you can always refer back to your image just to be 100% sure. So something about like this. So what I'm actually going to do is line this up where I want it to be. And then I'm actually going to try to take two pieces of transfer, make one big transfer. All right, so I'm actually going to go ahead and trim down a little bit so this will sit in here just a little bit better. So basically we've got it like this, no selfies. I'm just going to make sure everything is nice and straight here. So no selfies in the bathroom is going to be close together, and then this, right? So it's something about like this looks good. So what I'm going to do now is get this no back on top here. Just trying to make sure everything looks good. So a couple different ways we can do this. We can pick up the bathroom, we can place it down, we can come in within the, and then no selfies. That's definitely one way to do it, but I wanted to show you something different today. So I've got my transfer, my Teflon parchment paper underneath here. And I'm going to come in here with two pieces of this right here. So I'm actually going to roll it out like this very carefully. Okay. Try to be careful not to shift anything. All right, and if I do, I could always go ahead and release it and put them individual. All right, so something about like that looks good to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop there and cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim off right there. All right. Just like that. I'm just going to go ahead and smooth everything out. And now what I need is another piece. So instead of going this way, I'm actually going to go this way. So that way I don't have to use a whole bunch of material. So I'm going to go ahead and do this first. I'm going to get me a piece here. And what I'm doing is I'm attaching it to this piece here. So I'm going to go ahead and go right up here. and then I just need another piece here. I'm not too concerned about this. It's going to be connected to everything, so I'm not worried about it. So I need one more little piece. And I could, just to show you really quick, I could do this. I could bring in another one if I wanted to. So you can always piece pieces like this together. So never be afraid to do so. And then once again, if I wanted to, if I absolutely felt like I needed to cover that up, I definitely could. So everything is covered, everything's together. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my squeegee tool here and I'm going to rub everything in. All right, so just like this. There we go. I'm going to get my next piece. Just like that. So I really wanted to show you this today in case you haven't thought about this, to maybe inspire you with those bigger signs, that you can lay this all down at one time. So if you're somebody that's nervous, you know, you're afraid that you're not going to get it precise, this is definitely one way to do it. All right, so there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this. All right. And so a couple things, and the reason why I have this down here, so I can actually bring it in a little bit so I have a little bit of room. This is going to allow us to lay it down without committing before I really place it, and then I can move them here in just a minute. And that's what I'm going to do. So I just need to make sure I've got a little bit of room at the top there. We're going to flip this guy over here. We're going to start to remove all these pieces off one at a time. So I'm going to flip it over and peel. Just like so. So you guys let me know down below, have you guys ever pieced together your transfer tape to make one big sign? Now, if you are somebody that reuses, you can take these pieces apart and reuse them over and over again. So don't feel like you're wasting so much material. And for something like this, I actually just roll them right on top, back onto here. And I'll show y'all that here in a minute because I can use it over and over again. All right, so we are almost there. Well, I say almost there on the T, and then I'm going to come back up to selfies. I love the way that this selfies is written out. And once again, this design is linked down below for you guys, and it is only 1+ credit. So if you guys are not a Plus member, I do encourage you guys to check it out. We usually have a deal going on. So say, for example, why I'm currently recording this, we actually have it where you can try the Plus membership for $1, or you can try the Gold Plus membership for $3. And I highly recommend you do that for 1 month and really try it out, play around. You're going to get 50+ credits with the Gold Plus. You're going to get access to our Designscape. So I definitely encourage you to come check it out. So it's definitely like free products. You're going to get freebies every single week, and then you're going to get those plus credits, which technically is like 50 free files every single month. And we've got tons and tons, including font. All right, so now that we have all of that peeled off, what we're going to do is very carefully, I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to place it down on that parchment paper. So that parchment paper is going to allow me to really figure out my placement. See, I'm able to move this around. So I'm able to really figure out exactly where I want this, get it nice and perfect. So I'm thinking somewhere right in here looks really good. So I think I'm going to commit with this. Now, once I want to commit, I can take, for example, that top piece. You see that right there? I've got that piece down. So now what I'm able to do is lift this, because this will not stick to that parchment. All right, so we're going to go ahead and remove the parchment. So the parchment will not stick. So we're going to carefully lift this. And now I'm going to slowly lay all of this back down. So just like this. Nice and slowly, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to work my way from the top to the bottom. So you guys can see how easy that was. This is quite a large big sign. This is almost 20 by 20, just in case you guys were curious. And I was able to accomplish cutting all of this out on a 12 by 24. So I think it was like 17-inch material is what I had to cut it down by. You could definitely use your smart material to do this as well. But I really love that StarCraft matte. Once again, definitely use the matte. It's going to look like it is painted. It's definitely going to look like a sign that you have purchased from somewhere. Now, if you like that vinyl look and you like that, that shine off of it, definitely do that as well. All right, so I'm just going to rub that down. Once again, I'm working my way down just to make sure I'm not getting any bubbles or creases underneath my material. So just like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue to smooth everything down. But how super cute is this? I think it's adorable. I live in a house full of teenagers, and I just thought it was so cute. So I am going to peel these. Now, once again, you see, I'm sticking those on the parchment. It's not going to stick because in a second we can actually come back like I talked about with rolls like this, and you can definitely place these back on. So you see that? So you're able to just kind of roll these right back onto this roll. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my big one, especially because this is such a large piece. Maybe you wanna toss out the little ones, but this big piece you wanna save. So we're gonna go ahead and peel it just like so. And I'm gonna show you guys that one more time to just kind of roll this on here. Now mine's not absolutely perfect, but you guys get the drill. Then you can place this one on. You guys get the drill. All right, but there you guys have it. Scoot all of this stuff out of the way here, and you guys can truly see how cool this is. So this is such a nice size of a sign. You are definitely able to pull this off with your die cutting machines. Even if you have the Cricut Explorer 2, you're able to do this with your 12 by 24 mats. And that's what's amazing. You guys seen I was able to kind of pop this all down at one time. Using that method. So I hope you guys have found this inspiring in some sort of way. And if you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe. And we'll see you guys on the next one.